What happens when a brilliant physicist discovers he can see beyond human perception, guided by an otherworldly mentor? You won't believe how this newfound ability transforms not just his life, but the fate of our entire dimension. The neon lights of New Orleans flickered against the rain-slicked streets as Ryan still made his way home from another grueling shift at the lab. At 28, he'd already earned a reputation as one of the most brilliant quantum physicists in the field, though his genius came at the cost of social connections. The city's vibrant energy seemed to pass him by, just like everything else in his meticulously ordered life. That was until he noticed something impossible, a ripple in reality itself, like heat waves distorting the air near Jackson Square. At first, he thought it was fatigue playing tricks on his eyes, but when the distortion began to take shape, forming what appeared to be wings of light, his scientific curiosity overwhelmed his better judgment. "Mystery loves company," he muttered to himself, approaching the phenomenon with the same caution he'd use handling volatile chemicals in his lab. As he drew closer, the air grew thick with an otherworldly energy that made his skin prickle. Suddenly, the light coalesced into a figure, a woman unlike any he'd ever seen. Her skin shimmered with an opalescent glow, and her eyes held galaxies within them. This was Tiana Vizier, though Ryan wouldn't learn her name until much later. She moved with an elegance that defied earthly physics, each step leaving faint traces of luminescence on the wet pavement. "We've only scratched the surface of this extraordinary encounter, but trust me, you don't want to look away now. What happens next will challenge everything Ryan believes about reality, science, and the very fabric of existence itself. Stay with us to witness how this chance meeting transforms an ordinary physicist into someone who can see what others cannot." Tiana's presence radiated an aura that both terrified and fascinated Ryan. When she finally spoke, her voice carried harmonics that resonated deep within his bones. "You see more than others," she stated, not as a question but as an observation. Her words sent shivers down his spine, for they touched upon a truth he'd hidden even from himself since childhood. He'd always sensed patterns in chaos, glimpsed fleeting shadows where none should exist. The scientist in him wanted to run tests, to quantify and measure this impossible being before him, but something primal warned him that traditional methods would fail here. As they walked through the French Quarter, Tiana revealed fragments of knowledge about dimensions beyond human perception. She demonstrated by making street performers' music visible as dancing ribbons of color, showing Ryan how sound created tangible forms in higher dimensions. Each revelation shattered his understanding of physics while simultaneously expanding it. The drunken revelers around them remained oblivious to the display, their limited senses unable to perceive the symphony of light and sound unfolding above their heads. This is where things get truly intense. We're standing at the precipice of discovery, where every new piece of information threatens to upend Ryan's entire worldview. You absolutely cannot miss what comes next, the moment when theoretical knowledge becomes visceral reality, and our protagonist faces a choice that could alter humanity's future forever. The deeper Tiana delved into dimensional theory, the more Ryan realized how profoundly limited human senses were. During their third encounter, she took him to an abandoned observatory atop an old bank building. There, under the cover of night, she taught him to see electromagnetic fields as vivid tapestries of color, to perceive gravitational waves as rippling distortions in the air. Each lesson pushed Ryan's mind to its limits, forcing his brain to create new neural pathways to process information that no human had ever consciously perceived. Their relationship evolved into something neither purely scientific nor romantic, existing in a space between mentorship and partnership. Tiana introduced him to beings from other dimensions, creatures that defied description, existing as mathematical equations made flesh. Some appeared as fractal patterns constantly shifting and evolving, while others manifested as pure consciousness, communicating through complex geometric shapes. With each encounter, Ryan's perception expanded further, until what once seemed impossible became commonplace. One humid summer evening, Tiana led Ryan to the edge of Lake Pontchartrain, where the air hung heavy with the promise of thunderstorms. She explained that seeing the invisible wasn't merely about enhanced perception. It required complete trust in one's instincts and the courage to embrace uncertainty. As lightning illuminated the horizon, she showed him how to trace the paths of cosmic rays as they interacted with Earth's atmosphere, creating cascading showers of subatomic particles visible only to those who knew how to look. Their lessons attracted attention from forces Ryan couldn't comprehend. Shadowy figures began appearing in his peripheral vision, watching from impossible angles. Government agents started questioning his colleagues about his research, their questions carefully worded to seem innocuous while probing for classified information. Tiana warned him that some secrets weren't meant for human understanding, that knowing too much could attract dangerous entities from realms humans weren't ready to face. The consequences of Ryan's expanded awareness manifested in unexpected ways. Colors became overwhelming, sounds carried too much information, and even simple textures conveyed complex histories of everything they'd touched. Tiana helped him build mental filters to manage the sensory overload, teaching techniques that combined advanced physics with what could only be described as alien meditation practices. They spent nights mapping constellations of dark matter visible only through their shared heightened perception, discovering patterns that hinted at ancient cosmic civilizations. Their work caught the interest of a secretive organization known only as the Observers. These enigmatic figures claimed to monitor dimensional boundaries, ensuring stability between realities. They offered Ryan access to knowledge beyond imagination, but at a price he wasn't sure he could pay. Meanwhile, Tiana grew increasingly concerned about the changes in Ryan's physiology. His eyes had begun to develop crystalline structures, and his DNA showed signs of restructuring at a fundamental level. A breakthrough occurred during Mardi Gras, when the city's collective energy reached its peak. Amidst the chaos of parades and celebrations, Tiana guided Ryan through a ritual that opened his perception to quantum entanglement as a visible web connecting all matter. The experience nearly overwhelmed him as he saw the intricate relationships between particles across vast distances, witnessed probability waves collapsing into reality before his eyes. For the first time, he understood why Tiana had chosen him. His unique brain structure allowed him to process this level of complexity without burning out. Their connection deepened as they worked together to map these quantum networks, discovering anomalies that suggested intelligent manipulation of fundamental forces. Ancient structures beneath the city, previously hidden from human detection, revealed themselves as nodes in a vast interdimensional network. Each discovery brought them closer to understanding why Earth existed at a unique intersection of multiple realities, and why beings like Tiana occasionally crossed these boundaries. The true nature of Tiana's mission emerged during a confrontation with a hostile entity that breached dimensional barriers near the Superdome. She revealed herself as part of a galactic order dedicated to maintaining balance between realities, forced to intervene when human technological advancement began threatening dimensional stability. Ryan's role wasn't just that of a student. He had become an unintentional bridge between worlds, his altered biology acting as a beacon to both benevolent and malevolent forces. Together, they developed protocols for detecting and neutralizing dimensional breaches, combining human technology with alien methods to create containment fields. Their work attracted international attention, though few understood its true purpose. Scientists dismissed Ryan's theories as radical speculation, while military officials saw potential weapons in his research. Through it all, Tiana remained his anchor, helping maintain his sanity as his perception continued to evolve beyond human norms. During a particularly intense period of solar activity, Ryan experienced a transformation that changed everything. The crystalline structures in his eyes completed their development, granting him permanent access to spectra previously invisible to humans. With Tiana's guidance, he learned to control this ability, focusing on specific wavelengths or broadening his perception to encompass entire dimensional layers. They discovered that human history was written not just in physical artifacts, but in residual energy patterns that persisted across centuries. Their work uncovered evidence of previous civilizations that had achieved similar levels of perception, only to fall victim to their own hubris. Ancient sites around the world revealed themselves as dimensional anchors, their true purposes hidden behind layers of myth and misunderstanding. Each discovery brought them closer to understanding why Earth served as a nexus point for so many realities, and why maintaining its dimensional integrity was crucial for countless species across the galaxy. The stakes escalated when a rogue faction within the observers attempted to weaponize Ryan's abilities. They sought to harness his unique perception to create portals for military advantage, disregarding the catastrophic consequences such actions could have on dimensional stability. Tiana intervened, revealing her own past as a former member of this organization who had broken away when she realized their true intentions. Together, they exposed the faction's plans, using their combined knowledge to demonstrate the existential threat posed by reckless dimensional manipulation. Their actions triggered a chain reaction of events that forced both human governments and alien organizations to reconsider their approach to interdimensional relations. Ryan found himself serving as mediator between species whose existence humanity had never acknowledged, using his unique perspective to bridge gaps in understanding. Through it all, his bond with Tiana remained unbreakable, though the weight of their responsibilities tested them in ways neither had anticipated. The culmination of their journey arrived unexpectedly during a celestial alignment that amplified dimensional energies to unprecedented levels. Tiana revealed that this event marked a critical juncture. Ryan's transformation had reached its peak, and he now possessed the ability to permanently perceive multiple dimensions simultaneously. But this gift came with a choice: remain human and risk losing his newfound abilities, or embrace his evolution and potentially lose his humanity. As the alignment reached its zenith, shadowy entities from countless realities converged on New Orleans, drawn by the unprecedented concentration of dimensional energy. In that moment of crisis, Ryan demonstrated that true vision wasn't about seeing everything, but understanding what mattered most. His decision would reshape the relationship between Earth and countless other realities, establishing new protocols for dimensional interaction while preserving humanity's unique place in the multiverse. Though the immediate threat passed, both Ryan and Tiana knew their work was far from over. The barriers between worlds had been permanently altered, requiring constant vigilance and cooperation between species. The aftermath found Ryan continuing his research, now recognized as the founder of multidimensional physics. Tiana remained by his side, their partnership having evolved into something transcending conventional definitions of friendship or romance. Together, they established the first institute dedicated to studying dimensional phenomena, training others to safely explore the invisible realms that surround us all. Their story serves as proof that sometimes, seeing beyond the obvious requires looking inward as much as outward. 11. The Institute became a beacon for those who could sense the unseen, drawing individuals from across the globe who possessed varying degrees of dimensional awareness. Ryan and Tiana developed a classification system for these emerging sensitives, discovering that Earth's population was naturally evolving to perceive higher dimensions. Some could see only faint traces of quantum fields, while others manifested abilities akin to Ryan's enhanced perception. The couple worked tirelessly to create training programs that would help these sensitives develop their gifts without succumbing to sensory overload. Their research revealed an alarming trend. Certain technological advancements were accelerating this evolutionary process in unpredictable ways. Wireless networks, satellite constellations, and experimental quantum computers were creating interference patterns that resonated with human consciousness at a fundamental level. Tiana warned that if left unchecked, this artificial acceleration could lead to widespread psychological instability or even dimensional contamination. 12. As director of the Institute, Ryan faced increasing pressure from world governments demanding immediate applications for their discoveries. Military organizations sought weapons capable of targeting enemies across dimensional boundaries, while corporations dreamed of exploiting interdimensional resources. Tiana's diplomatic skills proved invaluable as she negotiated between species whose very existence challenged human understanding of reality. Ancient treaties and cosmic laws governed interactions between dimensions, and many alien representatives viewed humanity's sudden awareness as both promising and perilous. Through careful experimentation, Ryan and his team discovered methods to harness dimensional energy for peaceful purposes. They developed technology that could purify polluted environments by accessing cleaner parallel realities, created sustainable power sources by tapping into quantum vacuum energy, and even began exploring non-invasive medical treatments utilizing dimensional resonance frequencies. Each breakthrough required precise calculations and constant vigilance to prevent catastrophic breaches. 13. Tensions reached a boiling point when a multinational corporation attempted to reverse-engineer Ryan's neural modifications. Their unauthorized experiments resulted in a chain reaction of dimensional instabilities throughout major metropolitan areas. People reported seeing impossible creatures in their peripheral vision. Buildings seemed to shift and warp when not directly observed, and entire city blocks briefly vanished from reality. Ryan and Tiana led an emergency response team, stabilizing the affected regions while containing knowledge of the true nature of the crisis. The incident forced global leaders to acknowledge the reality of multiple dimensions and establish international oversight for dimensional research. Ryan found himself testifying before a newly formed Council of Nations, explaining complex physics concepts while managing the political maneuvering of various factions. Tiana served as liaison to the galactic community, ensuring that Earth's progress aligned with interdimensional protocols while protecting humanity's sovereignty. 14. Their work attracted unexpected allies or other planets undergoing similar evolutionary awakenings. Through shared experiences, Ryan and Tiana helped develop universal standards for dimensional interaction and consciousness expansion. They discovered that each species approached multidimensional awareness differently, shaped by their unique biology and cultural development. Some civilizations had mastered single aspects of dimensional perception, while others had achieved synthesis through radically different means than humanity's scientific approach. The Institute transformed into an intergalactic hub of knowledge exchange, where humans learned ancient techniques from beings who had existed for millennia and, in turn, contributed innovative technological solutions to age-old dimensional challenges. Ryan's ability to bridge scientific methodology with intuitive understanding made him uniquely qualified to facilitate these exchanges, while Tiana's diplomatic expertise ensured mutual respect and cooperation. 15. Years later, standing on the observation deck of the expanded Institute, now orbiting Earth as a symbol of humanity's dimensional maturity, Ryan reflected on how far they'd come. The crystalline structures in his eyes had grown into elaborate patterns, marking him as both scientist and seer. Beside him, Tiana's form subtly shifted between dimensions, her presence becoming increasingly difficult to contain within three-dimensional space. Their partnership had evolved beyond traditional definitions, existing in a state of quantum entanglement that defied conventional understanding of relationships. Below them, Earth continued its transformation, with cities designed to harmonize with dimensional flows and ecosystems managed through careful manipulation of probability waves. Humanity had learned to exist alongside countless other realities, contributing its unique perspective to the galactic community while maintaining its distinct identity. The journey had been fraught with challenges, but each obstacle had strengthened the delicate balance between worlds. As new students arrived at the institute, their eyes filled with wonder and potential. Ryan realized that true vision wasn't about seeing everything at once, but knowing when to focus and when to trust the unseen. Tiana placed her hand on his shoulder, their connection transmitting volumes without words. Together, they prepared to welcome another generation of dimensional pioneers, knowing that while they had solved many mysteries, countless others awaited discovery. If this exploration of multidimensional evolution has sparked your curiosity about the unseen forces shaping our reality, consider joining our community of cosmic explorers. Subscribe to continue journeying beyond the visible spectrum, where science fiction meets quantum possibility, and discover how much more there is to perceive in our magnificent